This is Miss Lizzie, and I want to welcome you to the Queen Lizzie podcast. Together, we will go through the history of Rosewood, Florida, and watch as the once prosperous town rises out of the bloodshed, fire, and ash to reveal the people, the memory, and the legacy of Rosewood. Watch every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube, or listen to our story on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Hello, everybody. I am Lizzie Robinson Jenkins, representing not only the Rosewood Foundation, but the personal testimonies and history of cherished friends and family. You are now watching the Queen Lizzie podcast. Today, we are talking with Carey Meldon. Welcome, Carey, to my podcast.
Well, thank you, Queen. I appreciate you having me here today. It's an honor to be here. We're here the first Monday after the new year.
Exactly. And we have a lot to talk about today.
So I'm honored to be your first guest of 2026.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. And as you know, I have been doing this for podcasts about 2 years. Mm-hmm. I think this is episode number 140 or 141.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It is unbelievable. When I started, I was very reluctant because I didn't know what I was going to talk about.
I find that hard to believe. Every time I've been around you, you have incredible stories to talk about.
I do have incredible stories, but I don't always remember everything I need to say and how I need to say it. But I keep it low, and when I say low, I do not use big professional words.
Well, neither do I. You know, it's funny you say that. So lawyers, when they get in front of a jury, you know what? My mentor was my grandfather on my mother's side. Okay. And he says, always talk on a fifth grade level. Exactly. Because it doesn't matter what you say if people can't understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
So I'm in agreement with you 100%.
Okay, I'm glad you understand because people say, well, because too, when I'm talking, if I talk above them, I'm talking above me too, and I have to think what I'm going to say next. But I keep it simple.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Exactly. And I'm just so proud you were able to come in and meet with me today on my show because we met a couple of weeks ago.
We did. We had a great meeting.
Yes,
I don't know if you want to tell the audience a little bit about what we did.
No, I want you to tell the audience.
Okay, well, so
your show.
we had the Queen in front. We were filming commercials a couple weeks ago in front of the courthouse in downtown Gainesville, and we had a beautiful day. It was a gorgeous day out, and we were so thankful to have Lizzie out there because she makes an incredible figure. When you see these commercials, you're going to see her shine out there. And we had a really nice talk, and we were able to shoot at a couple different locations. Yes. We started off in the courthouse, in front of the courthouse, and then we went over to Meldon Law and met in the conference room. And this was right before Christmas. And so everybody was getting kind of ready for Christmas. And here we are sitting in the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, which is a beautiful podcast room. We love it over here. Yes. A couple weeks later, and we were talking about all of the things that you have set up in the next 2 months. That you're going to be incredibly busy. I know you were telling me before we started that you were getting rest over the holidays because of what you have coming up. Obviously, we're talking about Black History Month, which is going to be coming up in short order. Mm-hmm. And not to mention, you're traveling all over the state. Yes. So, how do you feel about that?
I'm excited. Yeah. And when I tell you I am excited. We have so much going on. And you just said we started at the courthouse and we ended up at Meldon Law. Mm-hmm. And I want the people that don't know you to know that you are the son of Attorney Meldon.
I am. Jeffrey's my father. So my father moved to Gainesville in 1971 from Cleveland, Ohio, and he met my mother, who was originally from Daytona Beach. And she was in college, and my dad was a new lawyer, and she was hitchhiking, and he picked her up. Back then, he was a hippie. and he had a Mercedes milk truck, one of those big old trucks. That was kind of a hippie truck, and he lived and he lived in a kind of a commune with a bunch of other hippies. He had one of his friends had moved to Gainesville and had told him about how nice the area was, because back in the late 60s, early 70s, Gainesville was still, kind of a conservative town, but it was becoming more and more of a progressive liberal city because of the university. Right. And so my father was a very liberal, open-minded, progressive. He wanted to go somewhere new, and so he decided to come to Gainesville, and he met my mother. And then a few years later, they had me. So I was born and raised over at Alachua General Hospital off of 2nd before they tore it down. Yes, so that was where I was born. And then I spent my entire childhood here. I went to elementary school over at Talbot, just opened. Yes. And then I'd been to Glen Springs before that.
I was at Glen Springs.
Well, there you go. You see, shared history.
Yes. I was there, and I don't remember, but I was there for...
That's a great question. I think I was there when I was in 84 or 85, 1984, 1985.
I think I was there before, like 82-ish.
Okay.
But I don't know how long I stayed. Maybe...
I was only there for a couple years.
Okay.
So then I went over to Talbot when they reopened Talbot off of Millhopper Road and 34th, and then I went to Fort Clark Boulevard. Went through Fort Clark, and then I graduated from Gainesville High School in 1996.
All right.
And after that, I was lucky enough to get a tennis scholarship to a school in Virginia called the College of William and Mary, which a lot of people don't know this, but it's the second oldest university in the United States behind Harvard. Harvard was established in 1688, and William and Mary was founded in 1693.
No, I didn't know
so
that.
It's a very old school. So I went to a Williamsburg, Virginia, which is where the colonies kind of started in Virginia, and spent 4 years there and graduated from William and Mary. Then I came back and went to law school at Stetson, where my grandfather went, and he graduated in 48. I graduated law school in 05. I started then practicing at the state attorney's office in Daytona Beach, where I was a trial lawyer, and I tried 40 or 50 jury trials, I think over 40, almost close to 50. By the time 2009, by the time I was 27, 28, I had already been handling thousands and thousands of cases, and I did it in Daytona Beach because nobody knew who I was over there. They didn't know me. They didn't know me as Jeffrey's son. They just knew me as a lawyer. So I got to do what I needed to do and get all my experience and make all my mistakes over there. In 2009, I came back to Gainesville, and I started practicing criminal defense and did mostly DUI defense in Gainesville. And I practiced in Gainesville, Florida from 2009 with my father until 2016. Then in 2016, I went down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I opened a new firm in South Florida, and I started practicing there. And I was handling cases in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach for 4 years. Once again, nobody knew Jeffrey down there. I just got to make my own reputation, and I did my own thing. And then 2020, COVID hit, and Dad, had been practicing here since 71, 72. And he asked me to come back and be partners with him and start building the firm. In 2020, Meldon Law had, I think, we had 12 or 13 team members. We were not that big. And I told him I wanted to stay down in South Florida unless we wanted to expand and grow. So we made a huge decision to partner with the Florida Gators, which I see you got your Gators ring on there.
I have my Gator ring.
If y'all can't see that, that's the replica of the national championship Florida Gators ring. And it looks beautiful on Lizzie. She's got some incredible jewelry. She says she's got her great grandmother's ring over here, right? And then some other rings, and they all matched, right?
Yes. And this ring has the world. She was enslaved, okay? And believe it or not, the lady, the master, her slave master's wife, before she died, gave her this.
Wow.
And it looks like she has the whole world in her hand. I don't know anything else about this ring, but my mom said, you better make sure it's preserved, Okay.
Well, it's preserved. It looks it's a beautiful ring, and I'm so happy you have it. It's really an incredible. I mean, you can't see it, but it's got this huge globe in there, but it's got facets all around it. It's really incredible.
It is.
It must make you feel connected to your grandmother.
It does.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yes. I eat, sleep, and live history. Okay. I wear it.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
Yes. And the same as your history. You just said a lot about your history.
Well, my personal history, yeah. So I've been here been back in Gainesville since 2020, and now we've got over 60 team members. We've got 8 lawyers. We still have our office in South Florida. My sister just came on board this year.
Yes, I'm going to see her.
She's dynamite.
Okay, I'm going to see her in hopefully this month. The 25th, I'll be in January. I'll be in Miami.
You're going to love her. And she's the queen of Miami. Right. We had her grand opening for her Miami office 2 weeks ago, and I was down there for that. And the mayor of Aventura came out and all the city commissioners, and we had a ribbon cutting. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's just been, the last 5 years has been a complete whirlwind. And we owe our growth, to so many people out there. Of course, Freddie Wiebe, who you know as well. Yes. As among all of our team members.
Steve Spurrier.
Oh, wow. I mean, we're here in his room.
But this is the Meldon Law podcast room. You know that.
Well, we're very, very fortunate to be in this podcast room. Yes. It's a beautiful podcast room, and we're really happy to be here.
I am too.
And so, ultimately, we're just, we're having a great time. Mm-hmm. We're really focused in on trying to grow, but to grow the right way, to grow genuinely. I still go to the office every day. Mm-hmm. My father's, even if he's in there for a couple hours, he comes by and he spends a couple hours. But, we still believe that you have to be present to be great. You can't just hire other people to do the work for you. You're doing this podcast. You have over 150 episodes. No one can do it other than you. You don't have anyone standing in. And just like my father does his podcast, you have to put in the work.
And he is busy. I texted him this morning. 1 minute later, I heard back from him. I got a response. He knows what he's doing. He's on the ball. And anytime I text him, he always replies.
We were going through revenue numbers this morning, and I don't know if you know this about Jeffrey. So everyone in our family has their strengths, but he's a mathematical genius. So when we used to go to the grocery store when I was young, you remember the old registers they would have back when they would actually ring it in and people use cash? Well, he always knew what the total of the groceries were with tax before the register would actually spit out the number. That's how good he is with numbers. And so we're going through the numbers this morning, and we're going through percentages, and I've got my calculator out, and he's spitting out those numbers left and right. And so he's 100% mentally on the ball.
He is. Yes, he is. He is awesome. Yeah. And I love, how long has he been doing the athlete of the week?
So that's funny. So this is a kind of a good question. I was playing tennis at Gainesville High School in the mid 90s, and I was lucky enough to be on a great team, and we won the state championship. And my senior year, I won the Gainesville Sun Scholar Athlete of the Year award. Really? I won it in 95 too, but in 96 I was honored to be the TV20 Scholar Athlete of the Week. Now back then they would film you, but they didn't have any sponsors or anyone doing that, doing any other type of presentations or awards other than you just get featured for that one episode. So in 96 I won it, and Dad said, well, this is a great, he was so proud of me. He said, this is great. I want to be able to do this for other people in the community. So he met with TV20, and I was in college. I was in Virginia at this time, and they put together the TV20 Scholar Athlete of the Year program with Meldon Law. So we have been doing it now since 1997. Wow. 1997.
And it's a hit.
It's been, almost 30 years now. And every person that wins, we give a scholarship to. And it's
Really?
over north central Florida, so it's all Baker County, Marion County, Alachua County, all the counties, Levy County. And at the end of the year, we do a banquet, and we invite the person who wins the award, their coach, all of their family. We provide a dinner. We get great guest speakers like Steve Spurrier, Billy Donovan, Cornelius Ingram. We've gotten Jeremy Foley. We've had a whole bunch of great speakers out there, and they present to the senior scholar athletes, the high school, and all the high school senior scholar athletes get to hang out with each other and meet each other, and then we give out the Scholar Athlete of the Year award, which is even a bigger scholarship, and that goes out to one male and one female at the end of the banquet. So it's really it's an honor. It's a privilege to be able to give back to the community in that fashion.
And you all do it well.
Thank you, Queen. I appreciate it.
Okay, all right. It's about time for our first half. We are going to head to a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Meldon Law has been serving personal injury victims since 1971. In those days, Jeffrey Meldon's presence as an attorney in the music scene dubbed him with the nickname the Hippie Attorney. And although times have changed, two things haven't: our commitment to bettering our community by helping the injured,
Albert, are you ready to go to the game?
and our love for the Florida Gators.
If you bleed orange and blue, Meldon Law is the firm for you.
I am Black History.
I am Rosewood Black History.
I am Florida and
America's Black History, and you are too.
January 1st, 1923, the KKK insurrectionists attacked Rosewood, killing 5, burning it down.
Because a white woman lied and cried, a black man assaulted me. Rosewood redevelopment is on its way.
Want to help? Visit rosewoodflorida.com.
Welcome back to Queen Lizzie Podcast, brought to you weekly from the Steve Spurrier Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are here with Carey Meldon. The Queen Lizzie Podcast is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, live from the Meldon Law Gator Studios at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. We are back, and as I told you before, this is your father's podcast room.
It's Steve Spurrier's. We're sponsoring it, but it's Steve Spurrier's. But we're fortunate enough to be able to sponsor it.
Exactly. They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If not, you just told.
I don't want Steve to call me and be like, "You're telling people it's your room."
No, he would never do that.
No, he wouldn't. He's got better things to do.
Yeah, he's a jewel.
Yeah.
I just love these guys, and let me tell you who they are. Jeffrey Meldon with Meldon Law.
Yep.
Freddie Wiebe with Make It Happen Marketing. Who else? Oh, Bennett. Jerry Bennett from Campus USA Credit Union, and it's one other person that I can't remember right now. Yeah. Who is it?
Is it Elio?
No, I think I have named all of the important people. But I appreciate them. I appreciate you all very much, the sponsors. And I want all of you to remember, on the weekend, there's a brunch here from 11 to 3.
Oh, yeah.
The best food in town. So remember to patronize my friends.
Please.
Yes. And you know what? I feel like they are family now.
Yeah.
I've been around so long. They have tolerated me so long.
I'm going to brag on Lizzie for a second, because a lot of people don't know this. Part of what makes people special, and we talked about my father. You know, he's 81 now. But I still view him as, in the eyes of whether he's 50 or 60. And the same with you. I mean, both Jeffrey and Lizzie did something extraordinary in the past few years that I don't know many people in the world, like in the entire world, whether they would do it, which would spend 2 months going through an intensive 4-hour-a-week Dale Carnegie course to better themselves. And I know the fact that you still seek knowledge want to improve yourself, that's what keeps you young, and that's what keeps you present and, being one of the pillars of the community. I mean, I want to say that, like, sincerely, like the fact I know how hard it was because I went through it.
Yes.
And the fact that you were able to commit and make it through is something that you should be immensely proud of, and I applaud you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am proud of that success with Dale Carnegie. However, I was not able to stay on task, but the class kept me grounded.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk about Rosewood. In fact, I did.
Yeah.
When I finished that class, everybody knew about Rosewood.
And that's fine. Like life is, no, here's the thing is, you don't put life into boxes. You do what is important to you, and you don't let anyone else tell you you can't, right? Like isn't that the whole,
Exactly.
you get one chance at life. You don't get multiple chances. You get one chance. So why not speak what you want to, what is important to you, just like Rosewood is a foundational important to you. I'm going to speak what's important to me. Isn't that the way that life should be?
That's the way that life should be. Yeah. And my mother lives in my soul, and she loved, I don't know if she loved Rosewood. Yeah, she enjoyed telling me the story because she wanted that story preserved because her sister was the teacher there. And a lot of people don't know it. But 25 years later, after her sister survived the Rosewood Massacre, she committed suicide.
Yeah.
People don't know that. That's what I feel daily. Yeah. I have the letter, I have the supporting evidence where she wrote to the doctor she worked for and his family after she left Jacksonville, where she escaped to, and asked the doctor to send me some strychnine. I have that letter. Mm-hmm. And the wife said, well, Gussie, when you take the strychnine, make sure you drink a lot of water. Why did you all send it to her? Yeah. But they didn't know about Rosewood. They never knew her tragedy, the tragedy that she had gone through.
The trauma that is accompanied with what happened there, and what's happened. I mean, all the trauma that happens. It's. I mean, how do human beings cope with that? It's really hard. It's hard,
and it was so hard for her. It was
I can't
really
imagine.
hard for her. My mom said, "You got to research, authenticate, dedicate, tell the truth. Do not accuse anyone for what happened.
Yeah,
because they are not responsible."
Right.
And I have done that, and I have carried it. It's painful, but for my mother, I'll do it. She said, "You're going to have to talk about this, tell this story, but just tell it truthfully." And she said, "Baby, you need a song. Mama needs to write you a song." And she did dictate the lyrics to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have to, don't know if you've heard my song. You've heard a little bit. But I'm going to have someone who is ready, to produce this song professionally.
Wonderful.
I have it, but it's not really as professional as I wanted. And a young man said, "Oh, you need to let me sing that song yesterday." I said, "No, you don't need to sing that song. That's my song. That's my mother's song.
Right.
I don't care how bad I sound. It's coming from my voice." And I'm just going to share a couple of verses with you.
I would love to hear that.
Okay, it goes like this. No, I'm not going to do the beginning. I'm going to start with the verses that were very important to her. The Cedar Key train conductors were told to pick up in Rosewood. Standing by the tracks with a lantern, its young school teacher stood, waiting in desperation to carry out the sheriff's plans, rounding up the hidden survivors to board the midnight train. The sheriff and the store owner worked around the clock, informed the train conductors just when and where to stop, pick up the men, women, and children who were hiding out, and take them to Archer, Florida, going the same old route. And it goes on and on and on. But I just wanted you to hear what was important to her. She wanted people to know that had it not been for the Levy County Sheriff, her sister and the other survivors in Rosewood would not have survived, because Cedar Key was a peninsula and on the other side of Rosewood. He worked, my mother said, 96 hours straight. And to hear my mom tell that story, she loved Bob Walker. Yes, and she would refer to him as Sheriff Bob Walker with emphasis and clout and proud because he helped her sister. So that's what it's about, and I'm continuing to tell the story.
And you're I mean, it was beautiful. I was like, I would like to hear all of it. When are we going to produce? When am I going to hear the full?
I'm soon because I'm working with a group in Miami, okay, and I'm working with Ilio. Ilio is going to this month do a telethon, okay, like the Jerry
Lewis.
Yeah. Jerry Lewis type telethon. He is excited. He and Paul. Paul works with him. They are excited to get it out there. It's going to be a fundraiser to build the Rosewood Museum in Archer. We have the property, but we need the funds to get it going. And we are working on that, and we have someone in Miami who is going to look into building, giving us, he's working as we speak on a cost, contract.
So you know what the amount of funds you need to raise.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So we're working hard, and I like to tell people know Joy Glanzer, who is a realtor in Newbury. She is my administrative assistant. Pedro Germain is my VP. Jordan Marlowe is my board chair. So when I do work for Rosewood, I don't look at color. I don't look at political party.
No.
I look at people.
Right.
Okay. And I'm bringing David Jolly to my show next week. Next Monday, he will be here in this office. And David Jolly is running for governor. He was a Republican, independent, forward, and now he's a Democrat. And people say, well, Liz, he's been everything. I said, but that doesn't determine who he is.
Right.
Okay, people can change. I'm not endorsing him.
Right. People do change.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you said, people are people. Like the Sheriff Walker was probably a Republican because he was a sheriff.
He was.
And but he made a difference in people's lives
overnight.
And that's really, and you continued your mother's legacy as well as his legacy by talking about it today. So that's,
exactly.
You don't want to be buried and no one remembers you, right? Like
exactly.
That's the point of life is to carry it on to eternally.
Yes.
You know?
He lost his job. They fired him, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, and he was scared to death. Even white people back then were scared of the king.
Yeah.
Oh, you already know that.
People are scared of dangerous people.
Exactly.
No matter what color, race, or creed, you see it today. People are scared, no matter
Exactly.
all the immigration issues that are happening right now, and people don't know if they're going to be taken away from their families, and there's nothing more scary than having your power taken away from you.
And it breaks our heart because of children. I'm a fanatic for children.
Yeah.
I told students, don't do that to our kids.
Yeah.
They're innocent.
Yeah.
They are innocent. And I'm in touch with the sheriff granddaughter. Lives in Houston, Texas. She's going to be on my telethon. Okay. And then the train conductors. As a result of them helping the Rosewood survivors escape, one of them in 1922 was killed. They spooked his horse that broke his neck. And when the great-granddaughter was telling me about her what happened to him, we were both sitting there crying, and they gave me pictures galore. When I tell Rosewood, I am Rosewood because I have everything. I have done everything I needed to do to get the proper, truthful help from the descendants, from their descendants. So I'm still in touch with them. They are my family.
Unbelievable.
They are my family, and they will.
And you have a lot of family, I can tell you.
Yes.
I don't know how much. Well, I see we only have a couple minutes left, but if you don't know, Lizzie Jenkins has more family in North Central Florida than probably anyone else. Would you agree?
I agree.
I mean, we used to have Yolanda Means was a lawyer with our office, and she's still a friend. We still work together. She does law as well. She's a fabulous lawyer, sharp, ambitious, And I know you guys are related as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's from her background is in Orchard. Her great grandmother and my mother were best friends, and they were two of the smartest women in
I believe
Orchard.
that. I believe that
They
because
didn't
you
compete.
passed it down.
Yes, they passed it down. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's history is who I am. I love telling it, and I just want to tell it without insulting anyone. Okay?
You know, look, I think you said something earlier in this podcast that was really important to me, is that you don't have to tear other people down.
Exactly.
You know, you judge each person by who they are in front of you and what they do, not what they say.
Exactly.
You know, and so if people do good deeds and they do the right things, then judge them for that. If they say good things but they're doing the wrong things, then judge them for what they're doing, not for what they're saying. You know, and that's kind of the way that I look at life too. Is, you know, you can talk is cheap. Words, you know, actions are more important. So what are you doing? And obviously you're doing quite a bit, and we wish you the best of success. And I can't wait to see how the Miami event goes.
Oh, I can't wait, because I'm going to invite, like I said, your sister, and I'm inviting people from the Marvin Dunn. Marvin Dunn is a historian, okay? We have decided to work together, okay? Because his story is different from my story. He's a historian on a national level.
Right.
I am a Rosewood historian.
Sure.
I let him know that Rosewood history is my history. and
Correct.
I tell it truthfully.
And
I
then-
don't allow anyone else to not.
But he can interpret it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's
Yes.
great. I think
Yes.
that's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah, we had a long conversation this morning, and he has invited me to be on his platform on the 11th, and Lord, I'm hoping it's the 11th, which is Sunday the 11th.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Sunday, yeah.
Out in Rosewood.
Wow.
So I will be there, and he asked me to bring some of my artifacts. I will take them. I just don't want people to take pictures of them. But you know everybody likes to take pictures.
Everybody's going to take, well, it is what it
Exactly.
is. Yeah.
Even if you say, don't take any pictures, they're going to still take
They're going
pictures.
to, in this day and age, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they are going to. But those same pictures are all over the internet anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it's history, and I just want us to do better as a congregation, wrong word, as a community.
Yeah.
I want us to get along. I want us to work together. I want us to make positive examples. And let me tell you something else I did before we go. I last week, or did I tell you that I invited all of the local politicians to Archer?
No, I did not know that.
They didn't all show because it was during the holidays.
Sure, it's tough.
But I think 7 came.
Okay.
They had a ball at Josiah T. Wall's event.
Uh-huh.
They appreciated being invited. I said, y'all never come out to Archer until you want our vote.
Right,
But
exactly.
They showed
Yeah.
up. Yeah, that was different too. So I'm out there doing things, hopefully, for the best. And I am
You
so
are.
proud that you were able to be a guest on my show. And I'm going to allow you the closing comments.
Well, I just want to let everyone out there know that, we are very happy to be here. I'll read what's on the screen, 'cause it's probably said better than what I could say, which is,
Okay.
I am continuously humbled, honored, and blessed to meet people daily and to join them in peace building, healing, and reconciliation through learning about the history of Rosewood. So thank you for allowing me to be here. I can't wait until the events, and let's get this thing moving. Let's get the momentum, the train going.
Okay, and
All
you'll
right.
be the first one I call when the telethon, when the telethon kick off.
We're there.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.